Hello.
Welcome to our little series of what we recommend you do in each country. Today we're going to talk about South Africa, which is one of our all-time favorite places.
Seriously, all-time favorite in almost every aspect. There's just too much to see. Food is amazing. Just ridiculous.
So we're going to talk about 7 things that we recommend everyone should do in South Africa. The first one, he already said it.
Food. I don't know what they do to the food. I don't know what type of spices they put in there, but it's so delicious and it just feels like they just put real soul into it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, like it's not really any particular dish, although I do love malva cake. But it's just everything there. Everything we ever ate in South Africa. Even the Cuban cuisine that my godmother would make still felt like it was just better over there. I don't know. Yeah. Something they do. A spice. I don't know.
They do. There's a lot of meat involved.
Yes.
There's a lot of meat that we tried something called biltong, which is
jerky.
The equivalent of jerky in the United States, and that was amazing. I don't know. They were just, I don't know what. I don't know half of the names, unfortunately.
But make sure you do try the different kinds of cuisine because Afrikaans cuisine is very different from South African cuisine, depending on like the races and the different groups that live there. Indian South African cuisine is really great, which is gonna be one of our other recommendations. We totally recommend everyone to go to Durban and swim with sharks, and also in Durban eat some Indian cuisine. There's a huge Indian community that lives in Durban, and their food is bomb.
Yeah. We also went to, what was that place called where Mandela was arrested at his home?
Yeah, Mandela's house.
Well,
Nelson Mandela's house.
Nelson Mandela's house. Well, right next to there's a restaurant. But, oh my gosh, that area is amazing in terms of food.
Yeah, they have really, really good local, like traditional South African cuisine. It's really, really good. Yeah. Another thing we really recommend doing, and this is probably my favorite aspect of South Africa. So we spent a lot of time in Johannesburg. We haven't really been to, this is crazy. We haven't been to Cape Town yet. We've been there 2 times. The last time we were there for like 3 months, and we just whatever reason
we had it planned. It
just always
anyway. We ended up going to Mozambique.
So anyway, one thing I really love about South Africa is the music scene, the dancing scene. This is where we learn to dance kizomba, even though it's not from South Africa. But there's a huge vibe. There's a huge like dancing scene, and people go dancing without drinking. They go dancing not at a club. Like there's just outings just to go dancing.
Yeah, it's just fun. Good old fun.
It is so much fun. And nobody cares how you're dancing. Nobody's watching you dance. Everybody's just having a good time and showing you a good time. And it's honestly one of my favorite countries on earth for nightlife.
Yeah, I don't think I've in anywhere that we've been that we just stopped and we're like, oh, let's go to that place. And it looks like it's happening. Yeah. And then when we got there, it had this very like rustic feel, but there's like old cars that they like made into like just gave it a look. I don't know what it was, but it was like they had the DJ, they had the outside, open air. It was really cool. Just seats here and there. And it was happening.
It was really awesome.
Yeah, it was happening.
Another thing we recommend for South Africa is obviously swimming with sharks, which is going to be also in Durban.
Yeah.
I also really extremely recommend everybody to do a safari. I know it's like super standard. Like, of course, you're going to do a safari, but I recommend you do a safari and I recommend you do it privately. So not in a big truck full of people, but with a car. And the reason for this is that animals, obviously there's less and less animals by the day, but also they tend to hide from noise. And so not only are you going to be less intrusive in their lives if you're in a smaller car, but you're going to have better chances of spotting the top 5.
You'll learn a lot more because you have that one-on-one interaction with Luis that one time.
Definitely recommend a tour guide for sure. We had an amazing tour guide and made a difference.
They know the spots. They know where to find the animals. We didn't think we were going to see one of the white rhinos. We saw one right away. It was amazing. So yeah, definitely get a local guide and somebody and go like on a private tour for sure.
Another thing we recommend 100% is visiting St. Lucia. So St. Lucia is in the south of South Africa between Durban and the border with Mozambique and Swaziland. Yeah, so it's in that south coast. It's sometimes a little... the people miss it because they're going all the way on the other side of the Gold Coast, going towards Cape Town. But St. Lucia It's a great place to spot hippos. Yes. And I know that may not seem so exciting, but we actually didn't get to see them, but they're everywhere. Apparently, you can see them like on the side of the road and everything. We had a very, very short limiting time because we were on our way somewhere else. Bless you. So we got there kind of late at night, and we tried to go see them at night, but I was totally freaked out about it, and I was like, please, let's just go home, you know?
It's just your brother, man. He just decides to like, let's go this way, let's go that way. So let's go in the middle of the dark where all the hippos are in this long walkway in the middle of nowhere.
And, you know, they're known for killing people. Like, we're not being ridiculous. Like, hippos are crazy. Yeah. But I totally recommend everybody go and see them because apparently they roam around, like, just freely. And they're super fun to watch. Do you want to go watch some hippos? Is that what you're trying to tell us? That you want to go see some hippos?
Another place that we visited was a place called Kimberley. Mm-hmm. And Kimberley's known for the mining district. There's one of the largest diamond mines in South Africa is in Kimberley. But they also have a bunch of other cool things that we didn't expect. They had the little town.
So the big hole in Kimberley is super cool. It's called the Big Hole, right?
Yeah, the Big Hole.
I made a note
It's
here.
a big hole.
Okay, the Big Hole. So the Big Hole, you have to see it because it's this ginormous hole in the ground, literally, that used to be a mine. And it's just really cool. I mean, you know about South African diamonds and all that stuff. So it's kind of cool to watch. But outside of it, or like right in the property, but like in the entrance before you get to the Big Hole, there's basically like a replica of a vintage town.
No, it's not a replica.
It's not a replica. It's the main They've town. Preserved it from what it used to be. So they preserved like an old school, you know, like what the town used to look like back in the day when that was still a mine. Yeah. And it is super cute. We did an entire photo shoot there.
Yeah, they have a tram that goes around. Basically, it's like a little tour. It's like going to Disneyland, but in South Africa. I mean, not like Disneyland, but
it's really cool.
It's really cool.
You get to see all the artifacts, all the props, all the clothing, all the stores, how everything was ran literally like back then. And it was just, I don't know, it was kind of cool.
Old Western feel in South Africa.
And they also have some really good beers. They have some really good IPAs there. We sat down and had a phenomenal IPA, I remember.
Right outside too. Yeah, it was really good too.
Yeah. So totally visit Kimberley if it's obviously on your way. It's kind of, Kimberley's not really on the way to anything, but it's definitely worth if you're going somewhere there. Another place I recommend is, this is probably one of my favorite experiences in South Africa, is hiking Magaliesberg. Not Magaliesberg, Magaliesberg. My friend Marcel will be proud. But yeah, so we went with our friend Marcel from On Foot Adventure, and he took us basically off-roading. So what that means for hiking is we didn't have a GPS, we didn't have a map, we just kind of went with what he remembered. And hiking in South Africa is different than hiking at a national park in the States. Like, you are basically in the wild with no roads. You're crossing rivers, you're crossing super tall grass. There was nobody anywhere. We did not see a human for 2 days. We camped out there.
There are monkeys.
Yes, lots of monkeys.
Lots of monkeys.
And the craziest thing was that we went on this part of the hike where you had to jump out into the river, into like waterfalls, in order to keep on going to the other side.
Yeah, you couldn't return. You have to jump, or you have to get to the other side because you just can't go back. So you have to make that commitment. And they told us before, you're gonna have to jump 14 feet. Down into the water in order to get to the next step. And it was so cool. It
was so cool. Like, obviously, if you're not in physical condition for this, don't do it. And if you don't like this kind of adventure, don't do it. But if you're up for a little excitement, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of jumping off of bridges or anything like that. And I had a lot of fun. A lot. Yeah. It was great. It was the first day was like, 18 kilometer
18
hike.
Kilometers.
So you will be sore at the end of the day, but camping out there also is...
The cool thing is that you camp there, you go hike, and you come back, and then you enjoy. What do they call it in Afrikaans? A braai.
A braai. Yes, which is like barbecuing over there. Oh my god, it was probably one of the best.
Thank you, Marcel.
Yes, thank you, Marcel.
Our braai master.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is our whole entire list. There you have it. So our top recommendations for things to do in South Africa, and needless to say, we recommend everyone visit South Africa. It's a beautiful country, and people are super fun. And I think Alaska's getting antsy because she wants to go too.
We have to make it to Cape Town, though.
Yes, next time we'll do a review of Cape Town. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what are your favorite things to do in South Africa so we can know what to do next time.